through our surveillance cameras. You and I are about to witness actual, unscripted, true stories. We are here to document the raw pain caused by a lover's infidelity. This program is entirely dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted, hoping to encourage a quick renewal of temperance and virtue. Coming up on this intense episode of Cheaters, the target gets down on one knee. The victim screams, demanding to know if this is a sick joke. We already know exactly where they are, right now, at her bar. The confrontation erupts as she angrily demands to know who this other woman really is. Real reality television, brought to you by the private eyes at Cheaters Detective Agency, only on Cheaters. Welcome to another heart-pounding, relationship-crushing episode of Cheaters. Our first case involves Lisette O'Reilly, an Army reservist who reached out to Cheaters. She brings deep heartache and suspicions regarding her boyfriend's sudden, unusual behavior. Lisette met her boyfriend Nick roughly 4 months prior. She books live music. They crossed paths at a local networking event. Lisette serves in the Army Reserves after completing 4 years of active military duty. Her reserve duties require frequent travel, but whenever she is home, she books live music acts across several different local venues. She found Nick incredibly handsome. He works as an Elvis impersonator, but he enjoys singing other styles of music as well. She fell hard for his voice sound and natural confidence. Nick works primarily in marketing, so the singing is just a side gig. She believed he was deeply compassionate. He seemed to have a really solid head on his shoulders. Lisette envisioned a future with Nick. But as an equal opportunity officer, recent assignments forced her to leave town more frequently. Her role in the military requires her to go away for extended training. Lately, Nick has been working late, even on nights she is home. Nick always works late, right before she leaves for a week. She wonders why he avoids her when he knows she is heading out of town. She feels neglected, questioning why he simply cannot make any time for her before deploying. She wonders why he does not just schedule his late appointments for the weeks she is gone. Lisette understands the demanding business side of his marketing career, but honestly, he should make time for the people he cares about. Nick, age 35, is a marketing consultant suspected of implementing a divide-and-conquer strategy in his relationship. Briefed thoroughly on the particulars of this case, Cheaters deploys a covert investigator team right outside the suspect's place of employment. Sometime during our intense surveillance operation, the cheating suspect, known as Nick, steps outside for what appears to be a quick smoke. However, undercover agents must move fast as the target hops into his vehicle and bolts. Cheaters personnel tail the man to a nearby sports bar and grill. Let's watch as suspect Nick sits alone with a beer before Lisette finally joins him. He greets her with a familiar hug, pulling her over to sit at the table. Lisette remembers how coming home used to mean spending 2 or 3 solid days together. They used to be completely inseparable, walking arm in arm. Now he just gets up and leaves, constantly running off to make those late appointments instead of staying, leaving her feeling completely abandoned. Let's look at Lisette's case. She felt neglected, always coming home so eager to see him, but he never seemed to care. Plus, she was the one actually traveling for work. She genuinely missed the guy. Then she stumbled upon a random Facebook invite sent by a mutual friend. She definitely wasn't supposed to see it. It was an invite for a birthday party scheduled when she'd be completely out of town. She knew a few friends who were attending. Nick was going too. And the worst part? It was actually another girl's birthday party. Lisette dug into the girl's Facebook profile and found a highly suspicious picture. She scrolled through all of her recent photos. She found a cozy shot of the girl and Nick from weeks prior. She made up her mind right then. If Nick was sneaking around behind her back, she absolutely wasn't going to put up with it if she caught him red-handed, especially since he hadn't mentioned a single thing she knew she was never meant to see that invite. During their lunch date, Lisette excuses herself for a quick trip to the restroom. While she's gone, Nick indulges his massive ego by snapping a few quick selfies. The moment he spots Lisette coming back, Nick frantically hides his phone. Sometime later, Our suspect and Lisette exit the bar, heading their separate ways for the night. Lisette had avoided serious relationships in the past, mostly because she'd been cheated on before. She once dated a guy for a full month before she finally discovered he was actually married the entire time. People lie constantly. She entered this new relationship making that completely clear to Nick. She admitted she had major trust issues, but he promised her faithfully. He swore he would never lie to her. He promised total honesty, complete loyalty, and claimed he was finally ready to settle down. And his sweet promises were the only reason. She gave him nearly 5 months of her absolute dedication. She was going to be absolutely furious if he had wasted her time. Is it really that difficult to just be honest? Her rule was simple. Don't lie. If you don't want a commitment, just walk away. If a guy isn't man enough for a real relationship, he shouldn't pretend otherwise. She knew if she confronted him, Nick wouldn't have a single excuse. She was ready to explode if she caught him. She absolutely refused to put up with his toxic garbage anymore. Let's see what happens as our cheaters unit watches the suspect's workplace. Right around noon, Nick exits the building. Our private eyes tail him straight back to that same sports bar we saw during earlier surveillance. Once inside, the suspect spends a huge chunk of time furiously tapping away on his phone. Soon, an unknown woman, now identified as Stella, joins Nick right at his table. Once his phone call ends, the alleged cheater greets Stella with a passionate kiss. They spend the entire afternoon drinking and clearly enjoying each other's company. Hours later, the suspect and his side piece stroll out to his parked car, getting extremely handsy along the way. Nick kisses Stella, hands her his half-smoked cigarette, and gives her backside a playful slap. She happily returns the affection, gives him one last wave, and struts away. Nick heads home to a frustrated Lisette who remains completely oblivious. Our cheaters investigators spot a clear pattern and maintain their stakeout outside Nick's office building. After a grueling shift, the cheating suspect finally clocks out for the evening. The surveillance team follows an unsuspecting Nick straight back to his favorite local bar. There he meets up with a client, chats for a bit, and with a dramatic flourish, hands the man a thick stack of cash before sending him off. Sometime later, the suspect gets up from the table and moves to the bar where his companion Stella meets him. She greets him in a way that is far too familiar. The pair of alleged adulterers get playful at the crowded sports bar. After goofing around, the pair leaves the restaurant. Outside, our hidden cameras finally catch up with them. They stand there canoodling in the soft, fading evening light. Suddenly, the cheating suspect Nick drops down onto one knee. He actually proposes to the young woman, making his side piece extremely jubilant. Nick proudly carries his newfound prize back to her vehicle. They spend a few lingering moments saying farewell. Nick eventually gets into his car and drives home, blissfully unaware of the cameras. You and I have seen enough deception. Investigators prep a package for a heartbroken Lisette. Coming up, the ultimate confrontation. Now that Lisette's worst anxieties have proven totally accurate, the investigators contact her for a meeting. She is terrified of the truth, but Lisette decides in a warrior's fashion to face the hard evidence, come hell or high water. First thing I'd like to say is, I know it was a little difficult to get you here after we picked you up. And I also want to sincerely thank you for your service to our country. My pleasure, she replies. The host continues. As you know, we conducted our investigation, and we have found some troubling stuff. My main question for you is, are you really prepared to see what we've come up with? I am fully prepared for it, she says. Fair enough, he replies. Let's review this day of the investigation together. Our private detectives are waiting right outside Nick's workplace. As the covert investigators follow Nick, he arrives at a local sports bar and walks right inside. While he is in there, he receives a sudden phone call. What you are about to hear is audio from this phone call. It's actually a conversation between you and Nick. Tell me if you remember this exact conversation, okay? Hello. Hey, babe, what is going on? Hey, baby, what's going on? I just wanted to see if you wanted to hang. I just got out of the office. I'm about to meet 2 new clients. So I really cannot see you tonight. I mean, I'll be here late. They just walked in, so I gotta take care of them. But I will be sure to text you throughout the night, okay? You are really gonna have to make it up to me. All right, I'll text you later. Okay, cool. I will talk to you later. Is she one of his supposed clients? Because I really wouldn't think so. After finishing their drinks, the cheating pair walks outside, and that's when we see him wipe an eyelash from her face. I'll pause it right there. Listen, I know this is incredibly hard to watch, the host says. It actually pisses me off more than anything, she replies. I completely understand. All I want is to give you what you came for, and that is the truth. And a firm resolution. She nods. That is what I'm looking for. I told him when we started dating that I wasn't going to waste my time. You and I are moving this investigation forward. Nick walked right out of his workplace, climbed into his vehicle, and drove off. He arrived at the bar from the previous day's surveillance, walking inside to the exact same woman. The mystery woman from earlier walked in. They shared a long kiss before she took a seat. Nick grabbed his beer, took a sip, and motioned for another round of drinks. And that was exactly when he reached out and started feeling up her chest. She clearly enjoyed every second. The situation was absolutely serious. Suddenly, Nick got down on one knee. She desperately asked if they were playing. The victim asked if it was a joke. It certainly was not a joke. Nobody was playing any games. Let's follow the team. They knew exactly where the couple hid. They were at her own bar, her place of business. The crew hit the road to confront them. It was time to go. The game was officially on. The betrayed woman stormed in and screamed to know who the hell she was. She mockingly asked if she should back up. She refused to back up at all. Nick panicked, claiming they weren't doing this, insisting she was his fiancée. The other woman demanded to know her identity. The side chick started yelling loudly that she had been his girlfriend for 4 months. She claimed she was almost his wife and demanded answers. She kept screaming that she was almost his wife. He had just proposed the previous Friday. The entire situation was a complete disaster. Tempers flared as everyone screamed not to play games. Things were getting incredibly tense. The confrontation escalated as they demanded the truth. They wanted the real story right then and there. The original girlfriend shouted angrily, asking if she was his bodyguard, and threatened to throw her onto the hard floor. 7 whole years. Actually, 27 years. Yet he had been secretly seeing this other girl for 4 months. Nick lied, claiming he wasn't dating anybody at all. Absolute garbage. The other woman stood shocked. She thought they had been dating for 4 months. He insisted they were not together, begging Stella to look at something really quick. The conclusion was finally approaching. Let's rewind. They found them at her bar, leading to the explosive screaming match about who was who. Was he really sure about that? Nick stumbled through an explanation, confessing he met her on a music app. Everyone paused for a minute. Did he remember that phone call? When he sent that selfie, the other woman was waiting right in the bathroom. That's what she said. Unbelievable. He had told her she needed to make it up to him because he missed her. That's what he did. But look who got the ring. We all saw the painful truth. She had the ring. Nick panicked again, trying to change exactly what they were discussing. You and I are jumping right into this screaming match. She challenged him directly, demanding he take it like a man. The other woman threatened to take away his manhood right then and there. The chaos completely erupted. The host stepped in, asking Nick what exactly had occurred. The host asked for the truth, especially since the betrayed fiancé had known him 27 years. They had grown up just 2 blocks from each other. They had officially been dating for a solid 1.5 years. She reminded him of everything they had survived together while trapped inside their separate previous marriages. They had endured so much trauma inside those prior marriages. She frantically questioned if their shared past of broken marriages meant absolutely nothing to him now. She sarcastically called herself a stalker, mocking her rival's obvious fear. She taunted the mistress for acting afraid. She viciously asked if the other woman was terrified of being choked out and slammed directly onto the hard ground. She scoffed at the security guard's presence, angrily urging someone to just step up and beat Nick down. The host pressed Nick about what his next move could possibly be, pointing out that the engagement ring he was wearing when they first walked in was now completely gone from his hand. The investigator calmly pushed for Nick's side of the story, while Nick desperately begged for a moment. The crew graciously agreed to give the cheating man a quick breather. The host maintained that he was only there to figure out the truth behind the betrayal. Let's listen closely here. Nick claimed their relationship already had issues. He confessed he met the mistress at a business meeting, hung out, and slept with her before immediately trying to flee the scene with his new lover. The side chick confidently declared she was over the entire dramatic situation. She told the fiancé to make a smart choice and leave the unfaithful man behind, bragging that she had already made her own wise decision. But Nick's main victim firmly refused to leave with him, asserting she would find another way. She repeatedly told him absolutely not. She refused his excuses, screaming that they had solid proof. He scrambled to deny the undeniable evidence that was presented against him. He wildly claimed she would believe anything, even if a superhero walked in and said it. She sternly stated she didn't believe him. She doubled down on her disbelief, ready to end the whole conversation. The other woman whined that he was trying to make her feel guilty, acting like she was completely innocent in the affair. Nick muttered that she was projecting guilt like a crazy person. The fiancé cursed him out, noting his getaway ride had already abandoned him right there. The investigator truly sympathized with her for wasting 27 years on this unfaithful man, refusing to just abandon her there, crying all alone on the dark sidewalk. She sobbed over those 27 years, recalling how he used to walk her to kindergarten every single day. He had been her first kiss before they took separate paths into their previous marriages. After surviving terrible marriages, they reunited, and she remained entirely oblivious until now, declaring she could never forgive his brutal betrayal. The host solemnly recalled watching the man get down on one knee to propose. He recalled the beautiful look upon her face. The investigator had witnessed all her joy and happiness. He felt like he had watched a brand new life start right there. She bitterly replied that her entire life had just ended during this short filming process. The host graciously thanked her for being brave enough to speak with the investigative team when she really didn't have to. He deeply appreciated her vulnerability and wished her the absolute best. The team packed up to leave. You and I both know she'll be okay eventually. Thank you. The absolute chaos of that confrontation forces Lisette to make a brutal choice. Later, we will reveal Lisette's final relationship decision. But first, you and I will revisit John, a past suspect who steps up to explain the extreme measures he took just to fix his broken marriage with his wife, Tiffany. Seeing her storm in, just that wild look on her face, I instantly knew I was in deep trouble. I mean, it was just this insane gleam in her eyes, and she was entirely hunting me down at that table. I just stood up, and I mean cameras were completely everywhere, and I kept trying to walk away. I just desperately wanted to escape the situation. I didn't want the public embarrassment. I didn't want any of that drama, and I just snapped. If I had simply skipped drinking that exact night, none of this would have happened. What the hell is this? What is this? What is? Can I talk to you for a minute? Who is that tramp? What is this? What is what? What is this? I am playing poker. What are you talking about? Oh, where is that tramp hanging all over you? You piece of trash. You bitch. I'm going to destroy you. Hey, why are you tripping right now? As for Lucky, she didn't really have anything to offer me that my girl didn't already have. I was just dealing with heavy problems at the house. We honestly just kept on fighting constantly. And you know, issues with me cheating and stupid stuff exactly like that. And we were just fighting so much at home. So I went over there, started talking to her, and I don't know, we kind of hit it off. But it was all smoke and mirrors, really. I mean, I knew there was absolutely nothing further than me going over there for a little good time. What is she mad for sticking her finger in my face, sweetie? Hey,
Hey, let me get at her. Let me get at her.
what? I will mess you up.
Oh, hell no, you won't.
I will end you, bitch. I bet you won't. I will completely wreck you. Try me then, bitch. Try me. Get the hell out of here.
Bitch, get the hell up, tramp.
What? Oh, what? What? Let it go. Let it go. What, bitch?
What, bitch? Yeah, bitch. Put this on television, tramp.
Put this on TV, tramp. Since the explosive confrontation. No, I haven't talked to Lucky. I haven't even gone to that club at all, or any single club for that matter. I am genuinely trying to make things work with my girl and the kids, because that is my family. That is my entire life. I truly do love my girl, and it honestly wrecks me that I have hurt her so badly. I'll let her check my Facebook, whatever. I mean, whatever she needs. Just to prove I am not trying to be sneaky or hide someone on the side. She really is all I need. Immediately following the chaotic confrontation, Lisette O'Reilly permanently cuts all ties with her former boyfriend. Let's see how Lisette explains herself. After all the time and energy she wasted on him, Lisette realized she needed to focus entirely on herself. She just needs to do her now. Today, Lisette and the suspect no longer see each other. The suspect, Nick, actually came clean to the cheetah's producers about everything. Blankly, he stated he had no idea what he was doing. He liked Lisette, but his heart belonged to Stella. He admitted knowing that girl for a quarter century. He swore he was going to marry her. You and I both know how this goes. Stella still sees him, but those marriage plans are currently on hold. Now remember, if you do not get your programming from Goldstein's, well, we will both lose money.